Hey guys, Nick Showman from Showtime Strength and Performance. What we're going to talk about is meet tips. This goes for beginners, intermediate, and advanced lifters. It's the same rules, same guidelines we follow with all our lifters. All right, there's 10 of them, and it's pretty simple. All right, number one, don't cut weight unless you are going for a world record, and that's an all-time world record. State records don't matter, the submasters, stuff like that. Unless you are going for big records, I wouldn't cut weight. It just adds stress to your day, especially for those that have never competed. You're already going to be stressed. Your senses are already going to be very heightened because of the meet experience, all the different people that you're not usually training around. So what you need to do is find a way to stay as calm as possible. And adding stress of a weight cut, and then having to worry about putting weight back on, it's just not worth it. So I would say just, if you weigh 281 pounds, go in at 281. It doesn't matter, whatever you weigh, just weigh that. All right. The second biggest thing is hydrate, and you should probably drink more water than you think you need. I like to do a 50-50 mix with Gatorade and water. If you drink just straight Gatorade, you run the risk of actually dehydrating instead of hydrating like most people believe. So I like to get a gallon jug, 32 ounces of water, 32 ounces of Gatorade, mix it up. It dilutes the Gatorade. It's a good combo. Keep your electrolytes up. All right, number three, eat normal food. A lot of people you'll hear about go eat, at a buffet or whatever after they make weight. Just eat whatever you normally eat. You don't want to run the risk of eating a food that your body is not used to, and you don't know how your body will respond to it because of food allergies, whatever it's cooked in, and so forth. All right, I made the mistake of eating at a Brazilian steakhouse one night before a meet, and I had a terribly upset stomach the entire day during the meet, and I felt so sick I couldn't concentrate on the meet. So that's just an easy example of why you should be eating food that your body's already used to. Number four, have help at the meet. All right, we always have people that at the meets, helping our guys. They're there just to wrap knees, put bench shirts on, whatever it might be like that in the back area. Then we have people that just sit there and let us know how the meet's running, where they're sitting at. Just whatever. You gotta have people do certain things. We usually have about 5 people helping out because we usually take about 2 groups of people at each meet. So we split up in 5 or 6 people, 3 and 3. You can't go to a meet by yourself. I've done it before and that was a terrible mistake. You don't know what's going on. There's just too much for one person to handle and worry about competing. The athletes competing, all they need to worry about is lifting weights. That is it. Everyone else that's with them, it's their job to make sure that the lifter is ready to perform when their name is called. All right, so they don't have to find their wrist wraps, knee wraps, whatever. When their name is called and they say bar loaded, the lifter's ready to go. Another big thing, I used to be guilty of this, and I think part of it is because of the supplement industry expanding so large and rapidly. You don't want to overstimulate. I don't even take pre-workout to meets anymore because black coffee, we usually go to breakfast in the mornings, and I usually just drink black coffee and water. If you overstimulate, like I said earlier, your senses already heightened because you're at a meet, you're in a new place, you're around different people than you're used to being around when you train. So you don't need more stimulation to your body. You actually need to try to bring your body back down to a normal level that you're used to. Because what happens is if your body, the CNS gets stressed, you're not going to be able to perform as well. All right, because your body only has so much room for any outside stress. So do not overstimulate. I've seen people take nose torque and ammonia caps on an opener. If you can't hit your opener, if you're not excited to be at the meet, then maybe you shouldn't be at the meet in the first place. All right, next one, number 6, open light. It always makes sense to open light. I mean, I dropped my opener 60 pounds one meet, and it ended up being the best meet I ever had. It's better to open light and finish strong. I've also tried my opening attempt. It took me all 3 lifts to get, and that is not a fun feeling. It takes you mentally out of the entire meet, knowing that it took you 3 tries to get just one lift that was supposed to be easy. Open up lighter. I think Joe Bayless just told me at the last meet, he said, your first attempt should be like your last warm-up. So whatever you think you should take in the warm-up room, maybe that should be your first attempt. All right, it's not a contest to see who can open the heaviest. It's a contest to see who finishes the highest. All right, don't change anything. You'd also be surprised at how many lifters will get to a meet. When they get to a meet, I've seen people that pull conventional just go pull sumo. All right, because the sumo pull would be a shorter distance to pull the bar. But if your body doesn't know those leverages, don't do it. There's always people at the meets we have that have never used a monolift before, and they actually mess themselves up by trying to use the monolift and not walking the bar out. They're not used to just setting up under the bar. So their setup's off because they're used to taking 2 to 3 steps back out of a power rack and then setting their feet and then their back and their air. All right, now they're getting rid of some of those steps, and it throws everything off, throws their timing off. So that's why I say don't change anything at the meet. All right, any changes should be made, I would say 10 weeks out from a meet in a training cycle, and then you work on them during those 10 weeks. I would not ever change anything at the meet. I've just seen too many bad things happen. Next thing we'll talk about, shoot for 5-pound PRs. 5-pound PR on bench and deadlift, those should be your second attempt, on squat and bench press. On your second attempt, you should be taking a 5 to 10 pound PR. It's not very fancy, it's not very sexy, but it's progress. All right, if you go up 5 pounds on each lift, that's 15 pounds. On your total, you go do 4 meets a year, that's 60 pounds on your total. You do that for 5 years, that's 300 pounds on your total. Those are big numbers compounded. All right, now with the deadlift, it's a little bit different, and I've learned this the hard way. On your second deadlift, if you can open up with a deadlift that is light, but also will give you a 5-pound total PR, then you're doing awesome, you're in the game. But you still got to open really light on deadlift. So on the second deadlift, just worry about pushing your total up bigger. That's what you need to focus on. So you got to play a little bit smarter with deadlift. I made a mistake. I could have got my total up 30 to 40 pounds higher, but I took a 65-pound jump to get a 5-pound deadlift PR while I left 30 or 40 pounds on the table for my total. All right, the goal is to build your total. So play your deadlift a little bit differently, but definitely on squat and bench, you need a 5 to 10 pound PR. I usually say 10 pounds on the squat, 5 pounds on the bench. All right, again, it's not a whole lot, but the sport's a marathon, it's not a sprint. It's about making progress that'll compound meet after meet, year after year. All right, the best lifters are usually the ones around the longest. All right, you don't get bonus points for missing big on the platform. All right, number 9, this is a big thing, is, everybody's now recording videos. Everything's very instant at meets. Don't watch your videos. I don't like watching my videos until the meet's done. Because then if you mess something up on a squat, let's say you're shifting to one side, you might only focus on the shifting that's going on in your hips and forget to do some really important things. So you can end up getting your mind messed up over just one little technique error that can be fixed. So don't watch your videos. Don't let your girlfriend show you the videos of your attempts. Just wait until the meet's done. It won't be that long. Just focus about your next attempt. That's all you need to focus on. All right, number 10, this is the last one. We touched on this a little bit already. Build a total. I mean, powerlifting is about 3 lifts combined. It's about building your total. That's all you need to worry about. It's awesome to have a big squat, but if you can't bench heavy, then you need to work on building your bench up, because that's where you're going to make the most ground in your total. And that's what the best lifters have figured out. You know, they might not be the best at each lift individually, but they're very good at all three, and that's what makes the exceptional lifters that you see out now. They're very exceptional at building a total. And like I said, in the sport of powerlifting, that's all that matters. So before you focus on, you know, hitting 10 pounds over a squat that you might have hit in a gym one time, worry about building the total. The only numbers that count are at the meets, so worry about that first. All right, if you guys have any questions, leave a comment below, or you can email me, nick@showtimestrength.com. Thanks for watching.